really important for applicants to understand that not all job interviews are created the same. Like they're really, really not. So they could meet a person like myself or like you who are well trained in interviewing. They have a very structured format. They're
Mhm.
asking very specific, pointed questions to draw out an applicant's skill set and make a determination based on those skill sets, to the complete other end of the spectrum, which is someone who doesn't really interview, doesn't know doesn't have a background interviewing, who just kind of asking questions, shooting from the hip. What you need to know as an applicant is you need to be able to tell your story, and you need to be able to tell powerful stories that connect with that interviewer, hiring manager, to show that you have the skills that they're looking for. And that's really, really key. So the way I work with clients is really focusing on creating stories, real stories that they have from their past work experience, where they can identify skills that they have that pertain to the job they're applying for. So you've got different types of interview questions. You've got closed questions, which are, do you have a degree? It's like yes or no, right? So you're not learning a lot as an interview asking a question like that, unless you want to just kind of tick a box that the person can identify they've got that.
Right.
You've got open questions, which allow an applicant to open up a little bit more. Tell me about your degree that you have as it relates to this position. So that's
Right.
that's an open type question. Again, allows them to open up and kind of expand on their answer. Certainly, there are scenario questions that can be asked in the interview, like, hey, here's this situation. How would you handle yourself in this situation?
Yeah.
Those are ones that can't really prepare for. You just have to take the information you're given and respond in the best way possible. But the real question that you're going to get from experienced interviewers are behavioral descriptive interview questions. Like those are really the meat and potato type questions. They're very powerful. They get you to think about a specific time from your work experience in order to answer that question. And if you haven't prepared those questions, to answer them is really difficult because, we've got lots of experience. Applicants have, years of work experience. So to try and think of a specific time when they dealt with, let's say, a difficult customer, right? Or they demonstrated flexibility, or they're dealing with some sort of leadership initiative out of the course of their career. They've done those things a lot of times. So to think of one is hard on the fly, and to think of the best one is really hard on the fly. And that's where, when I work with clients, getting them to understand, okay, here's a bunch of different types of questions you can be asked. So be prepared on how to answer these types of questions. But looking at the job posting or job description, picking out the key skills. In the HR world, they're called competencies that a hiring manager is looking for, and coming up with examples, real world examples of how you've demonstrated those skill sets. That's what helps you tell the story throughout the interview process and be able to answer those questions. That's where that preparation comes in, because it's so difficult to come up with questions on the fly.
Yeah.
And I say this to people all the time, even someone like myself. I've sat on the other side of the interview table. I've like thousands of interviews I've sat in on. If you put me in an interview right now, I would struggle coming up with specific examples that really highlight me, my best examples, if I haven't spent the time in advance preparing.